Hi guys, good morning. You are welcome once again to Catfish Solution Academy. In here, we give you information about catfish farming, on how to be profitable about catfish farming, on how to really understand some factors that can enhance your profit on catfish farming. So once again, you are welcome. Today is the 11th of January 2021 and 2022, sorry, and we are still in the New Year season. So I bid you once again Happy New Year. And for those of us that that do subscribe to this channel, I do say a lot of big thank you to you. And for those of you that are calling us and are using that opportunity to encourage us, that are giving us job for last year and for this year, I say a very big thank you. And for those of us that are always with us and they're making sure that we proceed on our normal daily transmission on this channel, financially and prayers and support, I said a very big thank you to you guys once again. Today, I said once again, is the 11th of January 2021, and as you can see from the video, I'm presently making a supply of some of the supplementary diets to the city of Sagamu. Sagamu is in Ogun State, along Lagos Ibadan, along Lagos Benin Express Road. That is where Sagamu is, and we are moving these to a farm. And if you watched from my video, at least I will tag it up, or so that you can see, you can watch. We made a supply to the same farm a few that means on December, a few weeks ago, and I made a topic related to the supply, on how it is very good to really understand your fish concentrate, so that the purpose of you going into catfish farming purely is because to make profit, and the way and the directions that you can make that profit is by you really understanding your feed on itself, not to talk about the concentrate and the dietary supplements which can enhance your fishes in any way. So what I'm really talking about is that, as we all know, that fish takes over 75% of our daily running expenses, which most farms do not really take keen responsibilities of. What really happened is that sometimes I felt it when I do have calls for some farms, or when I do visit some farms, because there are some farms that are already organized, and by the time maybe there is a little challenges, and I paid a visit to the farm. Most of the problem I have is that the owner of the farm himself is not well knowledgeable about all aspects of catfish farming, most especially those of us that are really into farming scheme and sort. So I have already taken my time to visit one or two farms, and by the time I will interview them, or I will have some questions, I will see where the problems are coming from really. So some of the problems are competition of farm setting. I normally see that a lot of people are into competition, and I do say it that farm main business is all about agro business. That means at present, it's all about agro business. It's all about you making money, making sure that you make profit on your farm. It's not like the years that they are just doing farming without a calculative schedule, and these are really running a lot of farms down because most of them are really into huge competition. Like I do visit some farms that may be opportune to have money, that means rich enough, I will put it that way, because everybody is not in the same shoe, and we are not working on the same tracks. I normally tell anybody that if you want to really go into this business, it's better you pinpoint and you really make a choice of which area of the farming business are you going into. There are a lot of area in this farming system that you can go into, and by the end of the day, you can conveniently be satisfied and feed your family. I think that is the first thing that every thinkable farmer, every matured farmer should really work on. So after then, you can be chasing cloud. Maybe you can be chasing, yes, I need this business to get assets. I need business to get a car for myself, to get a home for my family. But the first point of call is that you needed that business. Depend on the cash you have at hand. You will need that business to sustain your family, which we normally call in Yoruba Ashiribibo, which is very, very important and key for anybody to grow in life. So I think the first thing that God will do for anybody in order to sustain anybody is that God will have to shade that person from shame, so that eating conveniently, doing things conveniently, so that to be really all right and take care of his family. I think that is what really farming too is all about. So for you to gain that opportunity and to gain some of these information I'm dashing out, so I said it earlier that most of people are doing competition. What I mean by competition is that they may, because they have cash, so they do collect fishes. They collect fishes, or if they do the hatching themselves, we see some farms that we stock nothing less than 50, 60,000. Some even stock to about 200,000, 400,000 of pieces of fishes. And but by the time you ask them, how much do you think you can use in feeding just 1,000 pieces of fishes, they will be telling you they don't know. They only stock and they have expended. Maybe, let me give you an insight. Maybe you are running a grow out and you know yourself that it's going to take you at least 500,000 to feed a grow out conveniently, and which you maybe you have just what you have because of the money that is taking your pocket. You have maybe 10 million naira, and you think your 10 million naira can give you can feed 100,000 pieces of fishes. So that is the place, that's the area most of them are getting it wrong. So by the time you ask them, they will tell you they have I've exhausted myself, or I've spent nothing less than 9 million naira to feed these fishes, and they are not really doing well. I don't think they will do well, because if you don't really understand your feeding, because the first thing you need to really understand now is your feeding. You need to understand your feeding. So once you understand your feeding, so by the time you are feeding, you really know if you are feeding the right proportion of feed, so that your fishes can really do better. I'm not really talking about other parameters that are involved, like your stocking density. I'm not going to that. I'm just talking purely about feed today. So that is why I tagged this my video, how dietary supplement enhances fish profit. So what we are doing today is that we are taking, as you can see from this video, their ponds as an hybrid of fishes of nothing less than 5 kg. Some of them are 5 kg, 6 kilo, and they are about going to about 8 months, 9 months, and as you can see from this video, the fishes are doing extremely good, and they have a lot of weight on them. But by the time of the day, when you get to that stages, when anybody as a fish farmer get to that stages, you need to ask ask some professionals on how you can cut your cost and how you can balance your feed dietary concentrate that can give you weight, because what we are looking at this stage is weight. So by the time my client contacted me and we spoke, so what I advise is that there are two things we can do. We have many other materials we can use, like this waste Gala that we are supplying. It's meant for two things for fish meal. You can grind it and mix it. That means you can concentrate it with other materials to form a formulation. And it serves as a way that you can feed directly to as well to your fishes, because it's a kind of it's not kind of powderish. So we feed directly to it, and it contains an higher level of a protein that can sustain a fish at a particular time if their dietary are not tampered with. So this has to be this information has to be understood. So what I mean, their dietary are not really tampered with. Maybe, for example, you collected a fish from a juvenile size. When you collected a fish from juvenile size, and the crude protein that is well recommended for that size of fishes ranges from 45 to 40%, and you follow that track, you make sure that what you are giving them is a feed of a crude protein ranges from 40% to 45%. That means you are following the right dietary concentrate. That is what they are hitting. So at that particular time, you follow due time. Maybe they should hit that 2 mm for one month, and you make sure that you give them for 1 month. Most farmers are, that is another area that I see that people are getting it wrong. Where they are getting it wrong is that by the time they are feeding their fishes with 2 mm, and maybe they fed for 2 weeks, and notice that the fishes their mouths are big, they are doing well. Some people will jump to 4 mm and they will go on very low concentrate. So that is where they started. That what we mean by fish stunting. So they started stunting the fishes at that particular period. So all these has to be checked and well understood for any profiting farmer. So again, is that maybe your fishes now got to maybe 3 months, and you still have a ranges of 45% to 38% to feed them. Most of the feed we have around for 3 mm is around 40%. Some are 39%. So if you are still having a 30%, a 39% and 40% for 3 mm, I think it's very better. And for those of us that are really into feed concentration, feed formulation, you really, if you are formulating your feed, or you are buying a branded formulated feed, please, it is very, very important for you sometimes to take the branded. Maybe you thought from your budget you are buying a blended formulated feed of nothing less than 1 million naira for your fish at a particular given period. So I will advise you to take some sample, to take it to the lab. Maybe they wrote 40% on the feed. Take it to the lab to confirm if their concentrate, their composition are correct. So it is very, very important, because some people will just write any kind of labeling, and by the time you started giving your fishes, in short, by the time sometimes by the time we go out and check some of the branded feed, locally formulated feed, and you even smell them, you would notice that it shocks you as a human being, not to talk of fish. So I don't know how a fish will eat that kind of feed, and that will grow them. They may be hungry and rush it the first time, so by the time you give them the second, third time, they will be refusing the feed. So many people are getting it wrong. Many people are not well prepared for this business. So that is why I'm just giving this advice for anybody who have ear to listen. It's not from anybody, but I'm talking to about those people that really wants to get profit and make profit in catfish farming. And again, let me proceed for those of us who did not really understand and know about most of this concentrate. And if your fishes are getting to when they are eating 4 mm, that means the third month, it is very, very good for them to be taking a concentrate of nothing less than that's same 45% to 35%. Please, I want you to note all this. What I mean by 35% is that means you can give them a ranges of 35 to 45%. But if you are very smart enough that can formulate a feed of 45%, you have already done the magic. That is where the magic starts coming from. Most especially if you have a very good seed, you will see the way and the performances of your fishes that will be marvel. Your fishes will be doing great, and you tend to make a very good profit at this junction. So when you get to the 3 months period, which we call the melon size, you still have a chance to give them a concentrate of 32% to 42%. For those of us that don't really know much about what I'm really talking about, you can order for some of my ebooks on catfish farming, which most especially the feed formulation book. All these are well listed, and more information are well listed too as well, so that this can take you through the right journey of feed concentration, a dietary supplement that you can use to feed your fish to, as well as what you are watching on this video. And if you are getting to a size from a lunch, you can give them a feed of 30% to 42%. That is maybe from a ranges of and what I'm really talking about, by the time you follow these ranges and you didn't skip them, and your fishes are doing well, maybe your fishes then are at an average kilo of a 2 kilo or 2.5 kilo, and you think they are still performing, their growth is still doing great, most especially if you are stocking an hybrid. If you are stocking an hybrid, you can take more longer period, you can take them for a year, and since you know what you are selling, you are going to sell at a very good price. For those of us that are have a hybrid, but if you have what we call the clearance, the pure clearance, I will advise you to just sell out at 6 months, and you gain a very good weight and a very good profit. So, but if you are having an hybrid, you can take it to a year, and taking it to a year, after following those concentrates, you can now go back to what I call my dietary supplementary concentrate, which that is what I mean. Some of them are these like of Gala that we are using to balance their concentrate, and they are doing extremely very, very great. So as you all know that Gala himself gives a lot of weight to your fishes, is a bound of carbohydrate, it's a bound of enough energy, it's a bound of a very good protein dietary too as well. So not only that, there are lot of what you can use to give your fish, and we still give you the same thing as we have on Gala too. I normally tell you guys that we have on what we call the plants too as well. The other things like a supplementary feed you can give to your fishes. We have the likes of the dead domesticated animal, which will be prepared, will be parboiled, and they can be given to them too as well. The likes of that are your fishes, other fishes, chicken and co. And we have the cow ruminant, should be parboiled too as well. All this you can get from the abattoir. if you are very close to any abattoir, but it is very, very good for people that are using netting pond because of the water pollution. So, but if you are not using netting pond, I will advise you to use it in a minimum level and make sure that you flush out the water immediately. I do that too as well. The likes of the meat and the bone, that means the blood meal too as well. The infant chicken from the hatchery. For those of us that are really close to hatchery, we have the infant chicken for the hatchery too. So thank you very much. My name is still Diatery and Catfish Solution Place and Academy. I will say bye for now and make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless you all. Thank you.